That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high and make it through. Shot down in May.
Welcome back to That's Life, Man, hosted by your favorite couple, Tanner and Chandler
Man.
Do I sound like a TV host whenever I
Yeah.
come on? And,
Like Vanna White. Was she a TV host?
well,
or
she
she
was
was just
like a
on Jeopardy?
showgirl, but she didn't. I don't think she did like an introduction. But whenever you turn on the news or you turn on and they're like,
Yeah.
"Welcome back to another episode."
Yeah, that sounded right. Hopefully.
I've been working on it.
So today last week's video, I was playing around with, I'm still learning camera settings and functions. And we have a couple different setups here, but I think my shutter speed was too low last week.
Not your shutter speed.
I think my shutter speed was too low last week because I was like, oh, I'll change that to fix the lighting because we're trying to film with more natural light. And so I was like, oh, I'll just change the shutter speed. But this was super blurry.
Yeah, it was.
Because the shutter speed was lower. So I guess it was just, I don't know all the details of it, but
It's okay, baby.
something about letting light in and catching motion. So whatever. I turned it back up today. I messed with the ISO. I messed with the aperture. So I think that we're in a better spot.
You're killing it.
I'm trying. We're still figuring this out.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Every week, we're still figuring it out.
What did we do this morning?
This morning, we filmed stuff.
I thought you were going to say have sex.
Not yet.
That's on the calendar.
Not yet. We talked about that in season 1. Put it on the calendar.
Put it on the calendar.
Put it on the calendar, especially when you don't get chances in the evenings.
Well, we did go to our anatomy scan, which 20-week appointment.
20 weeks.
So we definitely.
We're having no, we don't know.
Stop.
We don't know.
It's old.
We still don't know.
Get out of here.
We still don't know.
Okay, so the question is like when the anatomy scan. So the anatomy scan at 20 weeks is they do the ultrasound and they're looking at every little thing on the baby to make sure there's 10 fingers, 10 toes.
Yeah.
The heart is pumping how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Everything is like perfect. So whenever she gets to like the genital area, she was like, okay, you guys look away.
Yeah, well, their EMR was down. The medical record, the electronic medical record was down. So they were on paper charts. So she was like, okay, you're going to have to tell me some stuff about you because I just have a chart. I don't have any of your information because we're going to have to put it on the computer later.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to tell her that we're not finding out the gender because you waited
I
a
told her
second.
quick, though.
Not as quick as I would have. I was like, and then you finally came out and you're like, yeah, we don't want to know the gender.
She knew nothing about the baby, so.
Yeah, but she was starting to put the thing on your belly.
No, I told her.
Yeah, I was getting nervous.
Were you?
Like, man,
but like Chandler made a good point. Whenever we were sitting there and she's doing the ultrasound, he was like, we don't even know what we're looking at. Like we wouldn't even be. I mean,
they could go right past it and we wouldn't know.
Which she did say. So here's my prediction. She said, okay, turn. So we were like this. And I was like, isn't it crazy that like we could totally just go like that and know what the baby's gender is. But she did say that the baby kept their legs closed the whole time.
We're having a girl.
I was like, it's definitely a girl because
us men can't do that.
Because men don't do
and
that.
Z was wide open.
Z was like this all the time. He still is.
Getting calls in the middle of the podcast. How rude.
Who is that rude?
Client. So guys, if you didn't know, we run a fitness program. A client calling me. I do answer the phone when clients call,
but
just not in the not during the podcast. So I'll get on that.
So my prediction is that it is a girl since her legs were closed, and I feel like men are just like,
yeah,
look at what I have.
Yeah, that was. I thought about that too, and I was like,
because Z was always
wide open. Dudes were not afraid, especially at that age.
Yeah, really.
Z would rather be naked than anything.
But then she said, and then the other doctor was like, oh, it's a very active, wiggly baby. And they said the same thing with Xander. So I was like, man, maybe it is a boy.
And the baby's measuring big right now.
We're a week ahead.
Well,
she was like, with your last baby, how much did he weigh? I was like, he was born 8 pounds, 9 ounces. Yeah. She was thick. Like, she said, oh, you make big babies.
He was thick.
Because she said this baby has a big tummy.
Yeah. Which his daddy was, I was 9'1".
Yeah.
What were you? You were 8 something.
I was 7'15".
Okay. So you were close.
8 pounds.
Yeah. This is going to be a thick one.
I wanted to be like, we run dense in this family.
Z was 8 pounds, 9 ounces, 18 inches long. So he was
short and stout.
Short and super short, super compact. Yeah. I mean, he was in your little tiny belly.
But I mean, I'm short and stout.
So then he's grown since then. He's tall now.
He's gotten like thin.
The prediction was 6'2", based on his What is it? However,
So there's a, what would you call it?
it's not really a wives' tale. It's just
They
like
just say to double their height at 2 years old.
yeah, I think that's it.
At 2, double their height, and that is how tall they should be.
And he was 37 inches, which is 3 feet 1 inch. So if you
Yeah.
double that, taller than his daddy.
I mean, I'll take it.
He went from when he was born, I think he was 55th percentile for height to now he's 90 something. So I mean, it makes sense to be 90 something percentile. Not everybody's over 6 feet.
Are you a little salty?
Yeah.
Is that one of these moments of who are you telling?
I got to wear the right shoes if I want to be 6 feet.
Well, you know I have to wear the right shoes. Our kids will not be blessed genetically with height.
Yeah, they'll be thick though.
But they'll be thick and they'll have muscles.
They'll
These
be thick,
quads
though.
and those quads, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they'll be thick.
Our kids blessed.
Yeah, they hit the genetic when it comes to like muscle shape, I think.
Little quadzias.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know, Chandler has always called me Quadzilla.
Tanner's got some quads now. The quad queen over here.
The quad queen. Someone else already has that Instagram name. If I were to be a fitness influencer,
That would be you.
I'd be the quad queen. Okay, so I had a moment where I was like, why does no one leave me a voicemail?
Because your voicemail box is not set up.
I didn't know that.
I know.
No
we
one
have gotten
told me.
screwed on appointments because of that.
Yes, no
which
one
is why
told me.
I always put down my phone number for appointments.
What, did you set it up?
Yours? No, I just give people my phone number.
I'm like, why does no one ever leave a voicemail? Are they all scam calls?
No, you just haven't. Since you've had that phone, you haven't had it set up.
Oops. It's probably on purpose.
I'm sure it was because, well, that's why a lot of the times in relationships, the man in the women role for us are reversed. Like the women manages most of the, what would you call it?
I feel like in most relationships, the woman manages like the finances, the bills, the setting the appointments, all of the analytical stuff, like the paper stuff.
Setting appointments even.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the man does more of the
sitting around.
I don't sit around.
I'm not saying you sit around. You're just saying what the man does.
No, I don't know. But I think normally the woman does most of that stuff.
I call for Tanner's doctor's appointments.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
I
manage
call my
the
own
family.
doctor's appointments.
I manage the family calendar.
No, we both manage the
I
family
pay-
calendar.
Tanner puts in the calendar. She'll make an entry into the calendar. Say doctor's appointment 11:15, and the time is set for 4:30 p.m.
Because I don't.
She just writes the time in the subject line.
I don't need to see where the appointment is. I need to see what time it's at. So I see what time it is, and I'm good to go.
You get alerts based on the appointment time.
I don't need an alert.
So.
But this is how it happened. And this is why we do things this way. Because when we first got married, I said, this is my role. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to manage the finances. That my mom always did that. So I was like, this is my job. You were like, no, you're not. I'm doing that. And I was like, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, you're not doing it. I'm doing it. So I said, okay, we can try this out. Well, you took it and you ran with it. So what are you complaining about?
And what? It was the best decision you've ever made.
But we don't know that because I never took charge.
Think about it right now. You think we'd be better off if you did that?
Think about it this way, guys. When someone takes charge on something, you fall back. Therefore, you kind of lean on that person to do it. So I don't do it. So of course I'm not good at it because I don't do it because you never let me do it.
But I am good at it.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So let me be good at it.
Chandler's love language is
taking care of you.
No, what is it?
Loving you.
Words of affirmation.
Sweet sex.
It's words of affirmation. So if Chandler does the dishes, and
I just want you to know that I did the dishes.
No, there's nothing wrong with this, baby.
So that later.
This is why everyone has love languages. Yours is words of affirmation. And I understand that. This is why it's important to know your partner's love language because it doesn't bother me. I know that that's what you need. So I give it to you. Like if Chandler does the dishes, he likes me to say, thank you for doing the dishes, or the kitchen looks great. If Chandler picks up food, he wants me to say,
well, it's because I want the proof so that later when she says you don't do anything around here,
no,
I can say, oh, do you remember earlier when you said, thank you for doing the dishes? Thank you for moving the clothes over. I have to have the proof.
I'm just saying that is your love language. And
that's our healthy relationship right there.
I respect it and I give it to you, don't I?
You do.
Yeah, I do. I
And
always.
when you don't,
If I don't, because sometimes I won't on purpose,
when
just
you
to
the
see what he'll
dishes-
do.
you see the dishes are done. Like,
He will, for real. He'll be like,
here's what I did today.
yes. He'll give me a list. I did the dishes. Oh, I did the dishes. I let Mia out. All these things, and I'm like, thanks, babe.
Mm-hmm. I just need to know, and I don't know how people can just do acts like that and just like forget about it and like not need somebody. Like I need you to know that I did it because one, it makes you know that I'm doing things, but two, like I need to just make sure that's checked off the list.
But it's funny because when I do the dishes, you don't thank me for doing the dishes, and I don't want you or expect you to.
I thank you for different things like cooking me dinner.
Yes.
This isn't a sexist thing. This is for real.
No, I know. I'm
Yeah.
saying though, that's not my love language, so I don't thrive off of you thanking me for doing the
Mhm.
dishes.
What are we talking about today? What are we getting
So
into?
let's talk about current events. Do you feel like you're up to date on the Murdaugh trial
No.
enough to talk about?
I don't. You are.
How are you going to have a good conversation with me if you don't know anything about it?
Treat it like I have never heard of it.
Well, we will briefly touch on it because everyone in the world I know is up to date on
Not
it.
everyone.
I don't understand why. I'm surprised you didn't follow it. That's normally something you would be into. But anyways, the
I don't
reason
know.
it's so shocking is because,
I like to listen to a case after it's over.
well, I'm sure your people that you like to listen to,
Yeah.
who are they?
Crime
Junkies?
Junkies podcast. And what's the other one?
It starts with an M.
Morbid.
Morbid. I'm sure that they will cover it soon.
I'm sure they will.
But I don't know though, because I feel like it's been covered heavily. Netflix did a documentary. HBO did like 2 documentaries.
There's only so. I feel like there's only so. These true crime podcasts. I'm like, how do they keep finding murders to, like? I guess there's that many murders.
There are, but also they go in depth. Like they do research.
Pull case files.
They're like journalists, basically.
They are journalists. The Morbid, one of them used to do, what is it called after the body dies, and you have like the mortician work, but like the actual like causes
Embalming?
of death.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I don't know. I forgot the name.
I know the name. We both know the name. I just can't think of it right now.
Coroner?
Yeah. And she would like do a coroner's report. So
That was her job?
Yeah, that's what she did before the podcast.
So that's how she got into this.
Yeah, and then the
Okay.
other girl just like true crime, I guess.
That's how it normally
So they
starts.
it works.
Well, with this case, I think people, first of all, it shook everyone just because it was crazy. Like you don't hear about an attorney murdering their wife and their son.
Supposedly.
I mean, he was found guilty, but
there are people that are found guilty and released all the time.
Yeah, but you didn't watch it.
I didn't.
The jury decided within hours. Okay, the jury has to be a unanimous vote at the end of the day for it to go through.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes it takes so long, is because one person's like, no, they didn't do it. And
how do you convince somebody?
I don't know. And then how do you sleep at night if you really think they didn't do it? But you have to eventually be like,
no, it can go to a whatever. But the jury doesn't come to a decision.
That's what I would do. If I were strong on my opinion of like, they did not do it.
You're not going to change my mind.
I would be like, I'm sorry. There's nothing. No.
Yeah.
I don't want it because I'm curious what these people that were on this case, what they got paid. I'm so curious about all of that.
Do you get paid?
It's minimum pay.
It's not related to your job or anything.
Mm-mm.
Do they ever like take doctors and surgeons onto jury duty?
Like, how can they?
Or do they say like?
I bet people lie. Like, I bet they call them in and they're like, "Oh, I know so and so," and then you're off the hook.
Like, oh, I actually know that guy.
Yes, because then they don't go ask.
I interviewed him one time to be my attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the jury decided within hours that he was guilty, which is crazy. Like he got 2 life sentences without chance of parole.
2 life sentences. He can't even live 2 lives.
Yeah. I mean, it just means like they're really
giving him the where's he from? South Carolina?
South
Carolina.
Do
they have the death penalty or no?
They do. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder what.
This all happened in South Carolina. He has like 113 acres of land.
Dang.
That's
a lot.
They had, yeah. I mean, they were into hunting and fishing and all the things.
I remember you said they had like a private hunting area. Mm-hmm. Isn't that where it happened?
Mm-hmm. Down by the dog kennels, because
he had hunting dogs.
Yeah. So, anyways,
literally sounded from what you explained to me, like our hometown,
100%, which is why I was so intrigued.
where there's a couple well-known
Mhm.
local people
Local families.
that have just a big business that maybe has been around for a while or whatever.
But there's no family in our hometown that's like this family where they ruled the city. Like,
I don't know.
there's not. Like,
Some of them that owned they own a lot of the city.
they do, but
They
they're not
didn't,
like doing sketchy
No,
things.
they weren't doing sketchy stuff, and they
Yeah.
weren't. Yeah, you're right.
That's why this
weren't
was like
corrupt.
such a crazy trial, is because it's this small town and this family would like,
But they were actually doing stuff,
they were doing some crazy things.
killing people.
Now they're
stealing.
bringing all of this back up and it's a whole mess. So he was found guilty. I don't know. He did look guilty to me, and like the evidence and the way, like when they gave him his sentencing,
Yeah.
stone cold.
Well, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, true. He knows what to do.
He's a lawyer.
But I mean, you're already being sentenced.
I'm
There's
sure that
nothing
he'll.
you can do.
What is it called when
Appeal
you
it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll.
I don't
appeal
think
it.
you can. If there's no chance of parole, you can't appeal it.
Parole and appeal doesn't mean the same thing.
I know that, but if he can't even have a parole, why would they let him appeal it?
You can appeal it from jail.
Yeah.
Just like the dude from the staircase in Durham,
Did
in
he
North
get out?
Carolina. He ended up, I think, finishing his sentence. He's not in jail anymore.
Okay.
He's
that's
old.
still on Netflix. The Staircase.
Well, there was two. There was the staircase documentary, and then they did like a recreation.
Mhm.
Watch the documentary.
I didn't watch the recreation.
I started it, but I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, the documentary was crazy.
It was crazy.
And that happened in a city next to where we lived. We didn't live there when it happened.
I worked in the city.
Yeah. But we drove by the house.
Yeah.
Whenever we moved to North Carolina,
That was crazy.
we went and drove by the house because I'm like, that trial shook me.
That was insane. Because and Netflix did a good job covering it.
Yeah, they did.
Like they went into crazy detail. But is that the most current event? Is that the most current thing going on?
That, and there's a feud between, not a feud, but the world right now is splitting sides between Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez.
Whose side am I on?
Oh yeah, let's hear whose side you're on.
Selena Gomez.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, I'm with Selena.
We stand Selena.
What's a good Selena Gomez salute?
Selena.
Stand with Selena. Is that good?
I stand with Selena.
I don't mind the other one though either. I don't
Hailey.
dislike
Okay, so
either one.
apparently she's a mean girl.
Wait, is it a beef because Justin and Selena used to bang?
No, I don't think. Well, I'm sure that she's still salty about that just because the whole world couldn't get over Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But this beef is because Hailey Bieber and Kylie Jenner apparently did like a TikTok or an
Okay.
Instagram or something where they were kind of mocking Selena Gomez and people picked up on it.
Mocking her for what?
I don't know. We need to find it and watch it.
Okay.
But I guess it was obvious that they were talking about Selena Gomez. And so she lost Hailey lost hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram because people are like, you're a mean girl.
Mm.
If you don't like somebody, that's fine. Keep your mouth shut and stay on your side.
Yeah. Well,
Selena's not messing with you.
Why did she do it? She doesn't like her?
Apparently she's a mean girl.
I mean, that's not surprising, is it?
But I don't know. She went on a
I don't know any
podcast
of
and
these
said she had
people.
no problem. This was prior to this. She went on call is it Call Your Daddy?
Call her
Daddy.
Call her daddy.
Call her daddy. Why is it Call Her Daddy?
You're calling her daddy.
Oh.
She's not calling you daddy.
Oh, I like that.
Whatever.
And she went on a podcast and said she didn't have a problem with Selena Gomez. So I don't know.
Who cares?
Well, you don't, but that's like the current what's going on social media.
Who cares? What does Justin say about this?
He hasn't said anything.
Who cares? Because he don't care either.
Well, okay, so Chandler and I talked about this, how girls hype each other up
From like day one.
from day one. Like, girl, you look so good. Your hair looks good. Your makeup looks good. You're sexy. Let's go. That's how they greet each other, okay? Guys, I don't understand
We don't
it.
greet each other.
Guys are so mean to each other. They bond by being absolute assholes.
No, we just pick on each other for certain things, right? Like
Chandler's friends pick on him for me doing this job.
that's not related. I'm talking about, here's the thing. Women get upset or offended when somebody comments on something This
Of their
isn't all
physical
women.
appearance?
This isn't all women, but when somebody says something harsh or critical about something with their physical appearance, they get upset
A little bit.
because, like, let's say they have a big nose, but all their girls forever have been like, "Oh, he's so pretty," you blah 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 blah, all these compliments, right? So then somebody finally says, "Wow, you have a big nose," and that hurts their feelings.
Yeah.
Guys, I have buddies that I'm like, dude, I saw your nose before you turned the corner, right? Like I knew you were coming because I saw your nose. And so they know, like, it's a joke. We know those things. And so when somebody goes, "Oh man, you got a big nose," he's like, "Yeah, I know. I've been dealing with it my whole life." You know, it's like guys don't get most, and this doesn't apply to everybody. Most guys don't get their feelings hurt about stuff like that
Yeah.
just because of the fact that we've been picking on each other for it our whole lives.
I know, but girls, it's just like mean because yeah, it's true, but I don't know. Why do you have to go? I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at someone says I have a big head. I'm like, yeah, I know I have a big head.
Well, you had brothers that said stuff to you your whole life.
Oh, they said some stuff.
So like, did not not to pick on him because Talon, our editor, he edits our podcast, is only like 5'7", and so all the time I'll make jokes about him being able to see over a counter, or like his wife is 6 foot, and I'm like, how is it looking up? You ever ask her how the weather is up there? So we constantly jab.
What does he say to you?
People make fun of me for stuff.
Tell me what.
Like, how are you so handsome? Like, why when you walk in a room does everybody look? It's just
No,
stuff
seriously
like that.
though, what are the things people say to you to pick on your physical appearance? Wow.
I don't have as much, honestly. Unfortunately, it's just kind of how it is. It's not just my physical appearance, though. It could be
so you're perfect, basically.
Like, they ragged on me a little bit with my last bodybuilding competition. So, anyways, I did a bodybuilding competition a few years ago, and I did not place well. I did not place where I wanted to.
What did you place? Third?
No, fifth.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't do very well, and so they ragged on me about it.
Yeah.
After it was able to settle a little bit, they ragged on me as guys do. Yeah. And so like I wasn't sensitive to that because I know that's part of it. Like guys joke about each other's moms all the time. It's just the way guys are.
Chandler tells me that. He's like, I hope you're prepared because Xander's friends are gonna talk dirty about you.
Yeah, they are. And I remember it was after I once got my hair cut like super toupee-ish. Remember?
No.
When I had short hair on the side and like the little just flop on the top.
Yes.
And people picked on me for that afterwards.
Did.
Just guy friends.
What'd they say?
I just made fun of my hair. But you don't think about it. You don't remember. Like I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what they say because I'm a dude who's been getting picked on his whole life. You know what I mean?
I need to know that.
Like we constantly jab at each other. So it's like
say you had a toupee.
I think I said the word toupee, but I don't remember the exact verbiage because it looked bad.
I don't know what happened with that haircut, but it was like, okay, like the first time you got it cut, it was just longer on the top, shorter on the sides. The next time you went, they cut it shorter
and moved my
part
like to the middle of my head.
Oh my God.
It looked rough.
I wish I could find a photo.
And when I would have to like wash just the top half of my hair and have no hair anywhere else.
You're just washing like this.
I was like,
because it was long.
Yes.
On the top.
Every time I was like, can y'all cut that shorter?
Oh my gosh.
This is the look.
Okay, we're gonna find a photo and we're gonna put it on our Instagram stories because
I did not appreciate that. And I went from long golden locks to that.
Chandler highlighted his hair in high school.
Okay, there you go. Something I probably got made fun of for at the time. But that's why I'm not sensitive to it now, because I got made fun of for it when I did it.
No, I feel like I'm really good about if someone makes fun of me, it doesn't bother me at all.
But anyways, that's just what I'm talking about, like guys versus girls. And this is not the case for everybody, like you just said.
Yeah.
Tends to be girls are more sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they haven't been getting made fun of and poked at.
Yeah, some girls are super, super sensitive. I think also it comes with being confident. If you're confident in who you are and someone says you have a big head and you're like, okay. And
then like we might rag on our guy friends about their past girlfriends.
Well, that's messed up.
But it is. It's part of being a dude.
Okay.
It's the brotherhood.
Well, all right.
But I wouldn't do like girls don't ever say, oh, that last guy you dated was ugly as a dog.
No.
You know?
They might say he was a douche or McNusher.
Yeah.
But
don't comment on his looks.
No, that's just a no-go for us.
So,
all right. So
anyways, that's the difference there.
We are actually headed to Nashville, and We're
Yep.
taking Z Money with us because
This ain't Nash Vegas. Is that a thing?
I don't think, do they?
I think so.
Okay. And we're taking Z Money with us because we didn't want to leave him. Basically, short and sweet. It's a little short work trip. And
Mhm.
so he loves going on an airplane, but like the preparation for that is
It's
a lot.
So we're about to go do that.
The key to traveling with a toddler in the airplane or in the car, snacks. So ordered a bunch of snacks and then having newer, I say toys, but it's more like stickers, things they can put on the window,
The Tony box.
the Tony box, mess-free coloring, all these things. I'll share it all on my personal Instagram, the things that we normally do with him, and the iPad.
We do the iPad, and we don't tend to do the iPad a lot. We don't. We
Mm-mm.
never do it in the car.
Never.
We don't let them watch TV in the car or anything because these kids, they got to be more entertained. They got to be entertained themselves more.
I was about to say they need to be less entertained.
It's just crazy. This generation of kids.
Like we don't let Xander watch TV in the car at all.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a 6-hour trip. On like hour 4,
Yeah.
we'll give it to him.
But
And
we
he
try
doesn't-
to make him sleep, look out the window, read books.
He doesn't ask for it because he knows that we're
Yeah.
not giving it to him in the car. He gets minimal screen time at home, and
These kids nowadays, they just like
it's crazy.
even with music, like playing music in the car. We did not get to just say, play this song, play
Mm-mm.
this song, play the. It was whatever's on the radio
Mhm.
is what you listen to.
We just had a discussion where these kids are so used to everything being at their fingertips, where we're raising our kids differently.
Yeah.
They're not going to expect to get anything they want right then.
I love that we have the technology to do these
Mhm.
things, but I don't want him to be reliant upon the technology for entertainment purposes.
No.
And even like we were watching football, I think this last year, and a commercial came on, and he was like, so
what is that?
confused by the
Basically,
commercial.
like go past this.
Yeah,
We were like, son,
that's not how it works.
but we very much want our kids to, we want them to use their brain and entertain
Yeah.
themselves,
Be creative.
come up with fun. Because he is, when we strip away everything and he has to be just outside with minimal things, he's creative.
Tell him about the lady, the 1,000 hours outside.
I talked about that already
Did
on the
you?
podcast, how we're doing 1,000 hours outside. So it's for the year. We're doing 1,000 hours outside. It's like 3 hours a day.
Which
Some
is
days are
great.
more.
Yeah, some days are more.
And
Some days, and if it's raining, they say still go.
They say if it's not lightning, work with the weather conditions.
Why
If
can't your
it's
kid play in the
raining,
rain?
put on some boots or let them be barefoot. We're
Now,
big on,
if it's freezing outside, that's a little different. But
yeah, but she even said still, if it's freezing, bundle them up.
well, I mean, like in Florida, when it's
Yeah.
raining, it's typically warm. You can go out without shoes on and just play.
Yes. So, and we're big on him not wearing shoes,
Mhm.
and letting him ground. And I never wore shoes as a kid.
My feet were dirty all the time.
All the time.
And tough though.
Same. My mom, she would be like, y'all are going to get something in your feet. And we never put shoes on.
No, never.
Anyways, we've been talking a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got on a couple rants there.
Well, this was fun. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Huh.
We're going to go ahead and head out. We've got to go pack and do a bunch of things. But thank you guys for watching, listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We hope you loved it. And if you didn't,
That's life, man.
see ya.
That's life.